And did you guys ever do any like weird stuff like that with like big boys or any D
Not that
tackles
I can
getting touches at
really,
the 1 yard line?
not that I can really recall. The one that I think sticks out the most to me, which is kind of a funny story, big moment in Seahawk playoff history, was we threw a fake field goal to Garry Gilliam against the Packers in the NFC Championship.
Yeah.
Little backstory to this one.
Yeah,
So
tell
we
me about
come
it.
in, we're playing the Packers, NFC Championship, trip to the Super Bowl, and our special teams coach, who is incredible, comes in. He's like, "Hey, boys, hopefully we don't got to use it, but I've got a fake, and it's 100%er." He's like, "It's 100%er, and it's gonna hit." And we weren't a big like special teams fake team. Back then we really didn't need to do it that often. But if he saw something he really liked, he'd put it in. And we go up, and Jon Ryan, Canadian, was our holder, our punter. And he says, "Hey, man, whichever side AJ Hawk's on is the side that we're throwing this to." Because for some reason, they don't line up correctly. They never do. And if you watch this, again, I'm trying to articulate this without throwing anybody under the bus here. If you watch this, AJ Hawk is put in an impossible situation. He either rushes to make the tackle, or he plays man coverage. And the thing people didn't realize with Jon Ryan, shout out great Canadian. Here it is.
Oh,
Here it is. But I want to pause it. Can you pause it for a sec? Can we rewind it? So
Here we are.
as you can see, it was AJ Hawk and some other guy. It's kind of tough for me to tell, but I'm actually supposed to get this ball. So we were joking all week. I believe we called it the Pam Anderson play or something like that, because Pam Anderson's Canadian. It was going to be Canadian to Canadian. So what we had here was, you're going to see the wing, which is Garry Gilliam, go. This was it was like 80% of the time AJ Hawk lines up over here, and 20% he lines up on the other side. So we're going to put Luke to the side where we want him to go. Unless it's the 20%er, Luke's going to catch a ball here, and that's why we did the Canadian call there. But what you're going to see here, and you'll see this happen in 1 second, Jon Ryan has the ability to trigger. If AJ triggers, Jon Ryan has the ability to run. So basically, again, we're putting AJ in just a lose-lose situation, where if he comes after Jon, we're going to just dink it over the top to Garry Gilliam. And if he doesn't, he's going to run for the first down. Putting things in perspective here, notice the time.
Yeah.
In the scoreboard. This was kind of like the first thing. I mean, we all know what happens in this game. For those of you who don't, it ends up being a wild comeback. We get an onside kick, et cetera, et cetera. We had 0 points with 4 minutes and 50 seconds to go in the third quarter. And our guy, Snats, has his nuts in a wheelbarrow and calls a fake field goal. Okay? And then when we get out there, it's supposed to be to a tight end, and ends up going to an offensive tackle. And now we can roll it, and you'll see what I'm talking about. So they rush both guys from the edge, and you see, there he goes. AJ started to take if you run that back, he starts to take the runner, which is Jon Ryan. And
right there.
That leaves Gilliam good to go. And again, Jon Ryan could really scoot for a punter.
And nice little touch there, eh?
I mean, dude, Jon Ryan was a great athlete. I hope he hears this. He was a very, very good athlete. I mean, just a Canadian legend all around. After he was done playing for us, went back to CFL just because he was that much of a GOAT. It's like, man, I'll just kind of, after my prolific NFL career, I'm just going to go back home to Saskatchewan and kick for the boys, man. I mean, the guy's an absolute Canadian legend. That's all I can say.
It's odd hearing you say nice things about a kicker, John.
Punter. I like punters, not kickers.
Okay, you like punters, not kickers. But that's an important
yes
designation to make.